Everybody has written about it except the Auditor General. And I'm just wondering, who am I now to come at the end of everything?
Edward Ouko, the first Auditor General appointed under the 2010 Constitution, is in the crosshairs of a lawyer who seems to have done his homework well. He is accused of failing to submit audited report to Parliament and to the President, something his job description requires at the end of every year. Article 254(1) of the Constitution provides that as soon as practicable after the end of each financial year, each commission and each holder of an independent office shall submit a report to the President and Parliament. The petition discloses that since Ouko assumed office in 2010, he has never submitted any report. He is accused of grossly violating the Constitution. Ouko is also accused of appointing an internal audit of the accounts of the Auditor General. Ouko is said to have assigned auditors sent to audit his accounts by Parliament, additional responsibility which ordinarily would have been undertaken by the same auditors. He allegedly paid them 7.2 million shillings, 3 times more than they should have been paid.
The findings are thus evidence-based, corroborated with coherent data and field survey.
He is also accused of taking unofficial trips overseas which were paid for using public funds. His telephone charges alone are said to have cost more than 1 million shillings. The trips allegedly had no bearing to his work and that those expenses were not rightly captured in the accounting records. The petition has it that Ouko knowingly employed relatives and friends, violating the Chapter 6 of the Constitution on Leadership and Integrity, and that a majority of those working in his office are from his community. He is also accused of violating the Public Procurement and Disposal Act by influencing prime tenders and awarding to firms in which he has interest. One such tender that could have cost 18 million shillings ended up taking 100 million shillings. A substantial amount of that is said to have ended up in his pocket and that of a fellow officer. These contracts were single-sourced. The contract is said to have been awarded to Open System Integrated, or OSI, and OSI will then wire the monies to companies associated with Ouko.
I'd rather be here than anywhere else, so whenever PIN calls me, I don't hesitate.
Ouko is not new to controversy. He has been accused of not doing his work well. Last year, during the State House Summit on Integrity and Accountability, his office came under attack. Members of Parliament, particularly the Parliamentary Accounts Committee, have blamed his office for not doing enough. The office has complained of frustrations from the government departments they audit, including withholding information.
The blame should come if we have not given the resources. We have given the resources. Not only have we given the resources, our development partners have also joined in to support.
Earlier this month, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution cleared Ouko of graft allegations and recommended the prosecution of the Deputy Auditor Stephen Kinuthia over fraud and corruption, some touching on these same matters. The Speaker of the National Assembly, Justin Muturi, has directed the Finance Committee to consider the petition and present their findings on the floor of the House in the next 14 days. A committee of the whole House will then have 10 days to look at the report to decide whether or not the petition discloses grounds for Ouko's removal. If it does, then a recommendation will be made to the President to remove Ouko since he is an independent office holder. Ken Mijungu, NTV.